Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-Free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we'll have mostly sunny skies and a high near 88. Partly cloudy tonight. We'll see a low around 66. Sunny, hot, and humid tomorrow with a high near 91 and an overnight low of 68. The heat and humidity will continue into Sunday. It'll be mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon through the evening. We'll reach a high near 92 and an overnight low of about 71. And more sunny, hot, and humid conditions in the forecast for Monday. A high near 94 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
Poor Larry. Larry just walked into the studio and I'm just pummeling him with questions. Larry Kelly, Law Group Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly and George. This is on Facebook. Now that we clicked on that, good to see you. I'm just screaming things at you.
Yeah,
what do you think about this? What do you think about that?
You're like, you're going off today, my man.
engaged.
I missed you last month. You were on vacation. I was out here.
Well, I'm trying
I want
to do
you to know
extra.
that your absence did not go unnoticed.
Was it better with me gone? Be honest.
Never better with you gone, brother. You're the best.
First
You're the
thing-
gold standard.
You're a baseball coach in addition to being a lawyer. And first thing I'm going to throw at you, do you take a dude out on 99 pitches throwing a no-hitter?
All right, here's I've faced in coaching high school and college baseball. I've faced this issue when you're uncertain because of the pitch limit as to whether or not we're going to send the guy out for the next inning. And here's the train of thought. If the Pirate coaches were saying to themselves, well, we'll send him out, but if somebody gets on, if he walks somebody or gives up a hit, then in that event, you don't send him out. You don't. If you're thinking already, if he gives up one hit or he walks somebody or whatever the situation is, we will pull him. Don't send him out. You send him out if you say, here, look, he's only at 98 pitches.
99.
We're giving him
Yeah.
the 8th inning. We're going to give him the 8th inning.
You don't give him enough rope?
And if we're giving him the 8th inning, whether or not, now you take him out if he gives up 3 hits, but you're going to give him the 8th inning. So if the first guy gets a hit, you're leaving him in because I want to win the game. So that's the mindset. If your mindset is, well, if he gives up a hit, I'm pulling him, then don't send him out there. But if your mindset is, I'm giving him the 8th inning until he proves he doesn't deserve to be out there anymore, then I'm giving him the 8th inning.
By giving up a hit, that removes the discussion of the no-hitter?
Yeah, but you're in it to win the game, because the last time I checked, there's only one statistic that counts. So my mindset is, at 99 pitches, I'm either giving him the 8th inning to see how he does, but if I'm sitting on the bench and saying, well, if he gives up a hit, I'm pulling him, then I don't let him go out.
Do you tell him that? If you send him out, you say, if you give up a hit, I'm not yanking you. You're staying. You're
got
going.
the 8th inning.
You got the 8th inning
Right,
to do with it.
Yeah, I've been faced with that situation before, and I believe that's the right thought process. But that's playing chess. The Pirates oftentimes play checkers, and so you gotta have vision. You got to think ahead as a baseball manager. And quite frankly, I think Derek Shelton does a pretty good job. Because let me tell you something. It's all about the players. You understand? It's all about the players. Everybody knows when to pull the lefty and bring in the righty. and the X's and the O's.
They all have the
It's-
charts
It's
and
managing
numbers.
people. That's the key.
Do you believe a good manager, Derek Shelton, let's say he decides he doesn't want to deal with the Pirates anymore, would he be a good leader in, say, a corporate setting? Is that the skill set you're talking about?
And hearing him speak, I believe he is. It's managing people and getting them to believe. I mean, that was always my coaching philosophy. I may be tough on you at practice, but when push comes to shove and we're at game time, I'm telling you how good you are because I want my players to believe, and I want my players to expect to win, not hope to win. And I'm going to tell you something about the Pirates. It's all about pitching, and they're right around 500. And my feeling is, being around baseball my whole life, sooner or later, all hitters heat up. I'm sorry. They wouldn't be in the big leagues if they can't hit. And, you get 4 or 5 guys, you get hot for a month, and we're right in this race. And then you get in a short series, and I can come at you with Skeens, Keller, and Jones. I like my chances.
Hope springs eternal for you, doesn't it?
No, I'm a realist.
I say the same. My attitude is, if you're flirting with 500, I'm happy as a clam for you.
No, I'm not happy. But you got to be around 500 by the end of July because if you are, you can make that push. Listen, you only need to be about 10 games above 500 to make that third wild card spot.
Should you think about making that push more when you're going up against a just god-awful team? I think they got the White Sox. The White Sox are 31.5 out. It ain't even the All-Star break yet.
Listen to
this
me.
is when we make hay. Come on,
yeah,
boys.
well, we got beat 2 out of 3 in Oakland, and they're 30 games out, too. You still
True.
got to come with your big boy pants on and be ready to play. But I think this team's ready to play. Let me tell you something. If they sweep the White Sox, guess where they're at? They're at 500. There might even be a game above 500 if they sweep them, because I think they're 3 back. We're right where we need to be, and sooner or later, right? Major League Baseball hitters all heat up. See Rowdy Tellez. They were ready to ship him out a month ago. He's hit 400 in the month of June, or since June 1st or something like that.
Larry Kelly is my guest. He's a lawyer, but we never talk about lawyer stuff. We'll talk about other non-lawyer stuff after the news. That's next on Teleforum with Curtis.
The warm weather is back, and that can only mean one thing. Pirates baseball for a 76th season is on Beaver County Radio. Make sure you set your radio dial to WBVP and 99.3 FM. Pirate baseball is being presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Town Square Restaurant, and Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning on this Friday, July the 12th of 2024. We can expect sunny skies today with a high near 88 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. An Aliquippa land development plan has been given its final approval. Get Block Farms, LLC's final design for the plan was approved by the city's planning commission recently. The city council gave their final approval at Wednesday night's meeting. The council will meet next on Wednesday, August 7th. Numerous fire departments responded to the corner of 6th Avenue and Strawberry Alley in New Brighton around 6:15 p.m. Thursday. No smoke or damage was visible. Many of the fire crews began to leave the area around 6:30 p.m. We do not have any additional information at this time. Pittsburgh's most storied steel company, U.S. Steel, is on the cusp of being bought by Japanese steel maker Nippon Steel Corp. in a deal that's been kicking up an election year political maelstrom. The sale comes during a presidential campaign and renewed political support for rebuilding America's manufacturing sector. With the United Steelworkers against the deal, President Joe Biden has all but vowed to block it, while Republican ex-President Donald Trump has said he'd block it instantaneously. The sale has drawn opposition from Democratic and Republican senators in a rare flurry of bipartisan unity. Nippon Steel has scheduled the deal to close this year and has promised to move its U.S. headquarters from Houston to Pittsburgh. Pennsylvanians will soon be able to get canned alcoholic drinks called ready-to-drink cocktails from a wider variety of retailers under new legislation. The state Senate approved the bill Thursday, 32-17. Under the bill, the approximately 12,000 restaurants, bars, beer distributors, grocery stores, and convenience stores that are already licensed to sell alcohol can get a special permit to sell the canned drinks. Under current law, only the state-owned wine and liquor stores are allowed to sell them. The intrepid Texas-born movie star Shelley Duvall has died at age 75. Her wide-eyed, winsome presence was a mainstay in the films of Robert Altman, and she co-starred in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Her longtime partner, Dan Gilroy, says Duvall died Thursday in her sleep at home in Blanco, Texas. Her friend, publicist Gary Springer, says the cause was complications from diabetes. A lawsuit has been filed in the case of a Massachusetts teen who died after participating in a spicy tortilla chip challenge on social media. Harris Wollabod died on September 1st, 2023 after eating the Pocky chip as part of the manufacturer's one-chip challenge. An autopsy found Wollabod died after eating a large quantity of chili pepper extract and also had a congenital heart defect. Pocky has cited the chip's clear and prominent labeling, highlighting that the product was not for children or anyone sensitive to spicy foods or with underlying health conditions. And the IRS has collected $1 billion in back taxes from high-wealth tax cheats, a milestone meant to showcase how the agency is making use of the money it received as part of the Biden administration's signature climate, healthcare, and tax package that was signed into law back in 2022. The announcement Thursday comes as the much-maligned agency shows the public how much work it is getting done. In a statement, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen praises the Inflation Reduction Act for increasing tax fairness and ensuring that all wealthy taxpayers pay the taxes they owe, just like working families do.
Here's Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy as he explains the importance of pre-sports testing to help you reduce the risk of injury.
The intrinsic factors are looking at things within our body that could be causing the problem. So that we start to look at as physical therapists, shoulder range of motion, forces at the elbow, things like that. We're looking at the whole kinetic chain. For example, turning your head side to side. If you have less than 39 degrees of that motion, you have a 9 times increased likelihood of an injury. So these intrinsic factors are both measurable and modifiable. So as a physical therapist, I can take a baseball player or any kind of athlete, I can do my tests on them and see if they're within normal limits or outside of normal limits. And based on research that's been done, I can tell if there's a likelihood of injury or not.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we'll have mostly sunny skies and a high near 88. Partly cloudy tonight. We'll see a low around 66. Sunny, hot, and humid tomorrow with a high near 91 and an overnight low of 68. The heat and humidity will continue into Sunday. It'll be mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon through the evening. We'll reach a high near 92 and an overnight low of about 71. And more sunny, hot, and humid conditions in the forecast for Monday. A high near 94 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Friday, July the 12th of 2024, at 35 minutes past 9, we've got a temperature of 74 degrees with sunny skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Talk about what's happening in Beaver County or around the world on Teleforum. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. It's Teleforum with Eddie Crow.
We are talking about what's going on in our world. Larry Kelly of the law group Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly and George is my guest, as he is about once a month. This is being live Facebook feeded. I got other questions beside, but I knew you coming in today. I'm going to ask him about the Paul Skenes stuff. As a coach, what you say is exactly right. You're trying to win the game.
You're trying to win the game. That's the most important thing. And I understand the necessity of protecting arms. I get it. I get it.
When did arms become so fragile? Because Bob Gibson didn't have this problem. Drysdale didn't have this problem.
Neither did
Nolan Ryan didn't have this problem.
I understand. I don't know. I was listening on the radio on the way in here, and they were the Major League Baseball channel, they were saying if teams could figure out how to protect pitchers' arms, they would do it. But I'm not so sure what they're doing is working. Limiting the number of pitches and what they call stressful pitches, which I still don't know what that means, because every pitch you throw in a game is stressful.
As a crappy batter, they all stress me out.
I'm not so sure that's working. The definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. I don't know. Maybe you need to throw more pitches, not less.
Are arms wearing out because of the increased use as kids are coming up?
I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I do. And people, the body, I'm not so sure was built to throw 100 miles an hour. Sooner or later,
you're putting pressure somewhere.
Ulnar collateral ligament's going to give out. A lot of players at young ages get Tommy John surgery prophylactically. So that they,
okay, unlawyer that. That means
to protect them from
later on.
To protect them from future injury. Prophylactically means protectively. And they do it at an early age because now the ligament is stronger than it would be as it relates to the normal anatomy. They do it. It's crazy.
Does that strike you as a little ghoulish that you're getting preemptively rebuilt to try and do a job that a tenth of 1% in the world's ever going to even... Is that not weird to you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour and hitting a baseball is a gift from God. I remember a dear friend of mine, Jack Zarenzik. He's a Newcastle guy. We played baseball together. In high school, we played against each other. In college, he became the general manager of the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
And so I used to go
so
watch.
He ended up, he knows the game a bit.
Better than anybody I know.
Yeah.
And I used to go to the games, and I would be on the field in batting practice, because of my relationship with him. And I would watch guys my size, 6 foot, 185, in batting practice, hitting them off the scoreboard, like in Toronto. And I would look at Jack and say, Jack, these aren't real big guys. Where does it come from? His answer was the same. It's a gift from God. You either have that bat speed or you don't. You either have that arm speed or you don't. I'm not so sure. You can make it a little better. They want to blame the Pirates hitting coach because the Pirates aren't hitting. I've been coaching this game 100 years. You can make a good hitter a little better. You're never going to make a bad hitter good. And, you either have the gift or you don't.
The old adage of a pitching coach was he's going to make a third of the staff better, he's going to make a third of the staff worse, and a third of the staff he's going to have no effect. How valid is that?
I probably correct.
Yeah?
It's probably true. I got a chance because Chuck Tanner was from Newcastle. I got a chance to spend a lot of time with that man. His grandson was playing in the local college league, and I was coaching college baseball. Some of my guys were playing, so I would go out there and watch the games, and I would sit behind the backstop next to him, and I wasn't doing much talking. He was doing most of it, and I would just listen.
You were learning.
And Chuck Tanner was a brilliant man. He was a visionary. Probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Did things ahead of his time that were instrumental in allowing the Pirates to win their last World Series.
Which do you have more passion for? Baseball? Because I watch your eyes light up. If you could only keep one of the two, baseball or lawyering?
Man, that's a great question, and it's close, but I love being a lawyer. The difference is, as a lawyer, I can make a difference in people's lives. I'm not so sure I can do that as a baseball coach, even though my goal was to mentor young men and so teach them life lessons so that when they cross that bridge from adolescence to adulthood, they had some lessons from Coach Kelly that maybe would help them be successful somewhere down the road. But you can make a real difference as a lawyer. I've represented families who lost their husband as a result of a medical error, and there's 4 kids in the family, and now the wife has a choice. Do I have to go out and get yet a second job to support my family? If I'm able to do my job and obtain a recovery for that family, then she doesn't have to go out and get a second job. She can still be the best mother that she can be, and in her role as a mother doesn't have to change substantially. So you can make a real difference in people's lives. You just can as a lawyer, more so maybe than as a baseball coach.
Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly and George is the law firm. LGKG.com is the website. Larry Kelly is my guest. All right. You were a little bit late this morning, but you weren't. I got told Larry may be running a little bit late, and I said, well, maybe he'll make it. And I went out to greet you, and you were in your car, and I don't like walking up on people in their car, but I'm like, oh, I'll go say hi, and we'll walk in together. And I come up, and you're on the phone, and you're using grown-up words. And I instantly realized that conversation, whatever it is, it ain't for me. So I came back into the building. I'm going to be nebby. It sounded good, but what was that conversation about?
Yeah, I'm in line to be president of the Pennsylvania Association for Justice, formerly known as the Pennsylvania Trial Lawyers. There are 2,000 lawyers around all of the state of Pennsylvania from across the state who are members of that organization. We were having a Zoom meeting this morning to discuss issues of variance important to our organization. And we do it by Zoom because 2 of the lawyers were from Philadelphia. One was from Erie on that call. One was from Pittsburgh, and me. So, I'm proud
Who's the biggest pain in the neck on a multi-person Zoom call? Philly people? You're off the phone now.
Listen, I love my Philly brethren. I do. And I have a lot of friends out there, and I've done a lot of business with those people. But I tell my buddies from Philly the same thing. I know a lot of lawyers that won't accept no for an answer. But the guys from Philadelphia won't accept yes for an answer. If I say, yes, I agree with you, they still want to fight with me. But, I'm proud to be the leader here in 2 weeks of the Pennsylvania Association for Justice, formerly Pennsylvania Trial Lawyers, because it's an important job and we do a lot of important things to make sure that people in the state of Pennsylvania get justice. Here's what I learned as a lawyer for 40 years, Eddie. Nobody really cares about justice until they need it themselves. And that organization is there to make sure that the playing field is always fair and equal when you go in the court.
What would an example of inequality be that would come before that organization and you in 2 weeks?
Well, it would be change in the laws that maybe take away rights and remedies that are available to you, the right to a jury trial, for example. There are some states in certain cases do not have a right to go before a jury to have their case heard. It's fundamental in the jurisprudence system.
I thought we had a choice.
You do?
I mean, I can choose, I want a jury trial, or no, just take it for the judge.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
But in some states, you don't have that choice.
Really?
Yeah. And in insurance laws, insurance companies are bullies, in case you haven't figured it out. They're in the business to collect your premium, not pay your claim.
But the commercials are so pleasant and witty.
The good hands people and the good neighbor. They're a good neighbor until you need them, until it's time to pay your claim. And we make sure that the laws are fair so that they're not one-sided, and that what you pay for as a consumer on your automobile insurance policy is actually what you get, and that there are not hidden exclusions in the policy that nobody reads and are so small you couldn't read them anyway, that would prevent you from getting a benefit that you've paid for.
How is liability going to change with the rash of insurance companies saying, hey, California, we ain't selling you homeowners. Florida, we ain't giving you homeowners anymore?
Well, listen, the last time I checked, State Farm, and it was a couple years ago, their net profits, $3.1 billion. My dad used to tell me, he was in the insurance business, that they're the best run companies in the world. They don't want to take risk. Now, of course, in Florida where there's hurricanes. If you write a homeowner's policy, the wind could come and blow your home down. They don't want to take that risk. In California, there are earthquakes. They don't want to take that. They want us to take the risk, right?
Right.
You know, the risk that they take is in an automobile insurance policy where, you know, the chances of you getting in an accident where there's catastrophic injury and loss is 1 in a million.
How weird is it that your insurance is based on your zip code?
Again, they're the best run businesses in the world. They know there's
It's
more
on
traffic
purpose. Okay.
in Allegheny County than there is in Beaver County. And so the chances of you getting in an accident are greater in Allegheny County than they are in Beaver County. Their risk that they take is very calculated. And that's why a couple years ago, State Farm, $3.1 billion. Allstate, I think, was $2.9 billion. So
that's government contracting level of money right there.
Don't feel sorry for them. You know, our mantra at LGKG for years is we try cases and insurance companies know it. They keep a book on us. They know who's bluffing and who's not. It's like a Texas Hold'em game. If you bluff all the time, the other card players know it. In the legal profession, if you're a lawyer and you bluff and say, well, if you don't pay me, I'm filing suit, and then you don't file suit, they know you're a bluffer. At LGKG, if we tell you we're filing suit, guess what, Eddie?
We're filing suit.
Put your big boy pants on because we're filing suit.
Larry Kelly is my guest. It's Teleforum.
Oh my goodness, Amy, it's so good to see you.
Jennifer, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Is your mom doing any better?
Thank you for asking. I don't know if I can answer without being emotional. I'm sorry. I'm just tired and worried. I can't always be there for her, and it's so stressful.
I really understand. That's how I was with my dad. I'd recommend calling St. Barnabas. We did. We started with just having them come in for home care. He was so excited to see them show up. And when he needed more, we were able to move him in at Beaver Meadows, where he still has his own home-like space and excellent care.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't even know how to start, but I have to do something.
Oh, you can just give St. Barnabas a call. They have directors that can explain how it all works. Trust me, you'll feel so much better, and so will your mom.
I'm so glad I ran into you.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700 for care apart from the ordinary.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, a law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers. Attorney Larry Kelly.
That we establish relationships with our clients, because I still believe that relationships still matter. That this isn't strictly business between me and the client, that there's a relationship that develops. And there's nothing more important, I think, in any attorney-client situation than the client believing that the attorney actually cares about them personally.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
PA Cyber presents Midland Music Mondays at Lincoln Park. On July the 15th at 6:30 p.m., enjoy the Allegheny Brass Band on July the 15th in the park, rain or shine. Food truck service begins at 5 p.m. Sponsored by Beaver County Radio.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another insightful edition of Living Well, a special segment on Beaver County Radio designed to help you enjoy the best, most fulfilling, and healthiest life possible. Hosted by Dr. Joseph Maroon and Jeff Boast, and presented by St. Barnabas. Living Well, Saturday mornings at 8:30, right here on Beaver County Radio, WBVP Beaver Falls, WMVA Ambridge, along with 99.3 FM and 95.7 FM.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we'll have mostly sunny skies and a high near 88. Partly cloudy tonight. We'll see a low around 66. Sunny, hot, and humid tomorrow with a high near 91 and an overnight low of 68. The heat and humidity will continue into Sunday. It'll be mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon through the evening. We'll reach a high near 92 and an overnight low of about 71. And more sunny, hot, and humid conditions in the forecast forecast for Monday. A high near 94 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
74 degrees right now. I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. Man, I just invited you to come and do fill-in for me when I'm off. You ain't got time. We were in commercials for, 75 seconds. You're dictating stuff on the phone. You're texting people. Do you have free time?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What do you do during your free time? Because I ran down the list. Larry Kelly Law Group is Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, LGKG.com. But I ran down the list. You're a lawyer. You're a baseball coach. And you're about to be president of what's it called again?
The Pennsylvania Association for Justice.
That's got to be a cool business card. But yeah, that sounds like 3 full-time jobs.
I'm pretty busy during the day. And, when I go to work, I put my game face on. Sometimes the staff, and they want to chit-chat. I don't have time to chit-chat when I get there. I put my game face on.
You're like Kirk Gibson when he showed up with the Dodgers and they played a prank on him and he almost fought the entire team and told them, I'm not here to play games. I'm here to win.
Oh, yeah. I put my game face on. And so, but I have some free time. Sure I do. I make sure that I have some free time. I've been doing this for 40 years, going into my 41st year. You become more productive as a lawyer. What used to take me 2 hours to do now takes me 20 minutes because I've done it 1,000 times. No substitute for experience.
So,
I don't like having gray hair, as the people on Facebook can see.
Yeah.
But as I tell my clients, I've earned it. I've done this for 40 years. I've seen the movie before, Eddie. I know how they end. And that benefits my clients.
Absolutely. But has your game face changed over the last 40 years?
I think it has, especially in the courtroom. I'm not attempting to totally obliterate witnesses as I used to. I've learned that you got to be a little more reserved. The athlete in me, the competitor in me, in cross-examination, sometimes I would just obliterate the other side. And my clients would like it. Yeah, look at my lawyer, how tough he is. But I'm not sure the jurors like it. So you got to pick and choose who you're going to get the sledgehammer out on. And I've learned that as a trial lawyer and trying over 100 cases.
How long does it take for you to read a jury and go, okay, this is what these guys are going to pay attention to?
I don't read the tea leaves. I stay out of their zone. I'm not eyeballing them. I'm not staring them down. That's not my job. My job is to make sure I'm focused on what my job is.
How do you stay out of their zone if part of your job is to get them to embrace what it is? Don't you have to enter their zone to get them to start to buy into whatever you're saying?
Well, absolutely. But, some lawyers are looking at them constantly, and, nobody likes to get stared at. And, again, I'm not so sure you can read the tea leaves. I'm a believer in keep it simple. I'm a believer in make them laugh, get them comfortable. Even in the most serious trials, there have been times that their laughter is appropriate.
Does that break the tension sometimes?
Yes.
Is that what it?
Right.
Okay.
There are times to be self-deprecating, which I try to do, not be too full of myself. There was a witness, my daughter was in law school. She didn't have a car. I'm in a trial. My wife brings her to the trial because my wife doesn't come and watch my trials. And there was an expert witness testifying in the case, and he got done, and we took a break, and it's now time for cross-examination. And my wife says to me, now that's a nice guy. Don't beat him up. Don't beat him up.
He seemed, don't pick on him.
Don't beat him up. And so I've learned, And in that case, she was right. That worked very well. The jury was out about 30 minutes and came back and awarded my client a lot of money, as he deserved.
Did the wife hit you up for a consultancy fee for pointing you in the right direction?
Absolutely.
Because I would have, absolutely.
She had a nice dinner on the way home, her and my daughter.
Larry Kelly, Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George. You going to hang on a little bit more?
Yeah, I am. If you'll have me, Eddie.
I'll talk you into stay until noon. They'd rather hear you than me anyway.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WMBD WMBA can get you results. Get more information at beavercountyradio.com.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale-Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the Best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
It's the sound of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and now available on 95.7 FM. You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Beaver County Radio's news source. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMVA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning on this Friday, July the 12th of 2024. We can expect sunny skies all day long with a high of about 88 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. A proposed land development plan for Aliquippa, organized by Get Block Farms LLC, was approved by the city's planning commission recently, and council gave their final approval at Wednesday night's meeting. The council will meet again on Wednesday, August 7th at 7 p.m. A Beaver County mom has been charged with involuntary manslaughter after the coroner says her baby overdosed on cocaine last year. First responders were called to a home on Boundary Street in Aliquippa for a report of a child who wasn't breathing on October 30th. According to the criminal complaint, when responders first arrived, they saw Rachel Dlubak, who was trying to resuscitate her daughter, Tanaya Harvey. After noticing the baby girl had pinpoint pupils, police said that Harvin was given Narcan and taken to the hospital, where she died days later. The autopsy showed Harvey died from cocaine toxicity, according to the Beaver County coroner. Numerous fire departments responded to the corner of 6th Avenue and Strawberry Alley in New Brighton around 6:15 yesterday. No smoke or damage was visible, and many of the fire crews began to leave the area around 6:30 p.m. We do not have any additional information at this time. U.S. Steel, Pittsburgh's beloved steel company, is on the cusp of being bought by Japanese steelmaker Nippon Steel Corporation. The sale comes during a presidential campaign and renewed political support for rebuilding America's manufacturing sector. With the United Steelworkers against the deal, Democratic President Joe Biden has all but vowed to block it. Republican ex-President Donald Trump says he'd block it instantaneously. The sale has drawn opposition from Democratic and Republican senators in a rare flurry of bipartisan unity, and Nippon Steel has said that they promise to move their headquarters to Pittsburgh from where it's presently based in Houston, Texas. The state Senate yesterday approved the 2024-25 state budget that respects taxpayers, expands opportunities for Pennsylvania families, and increases educational opportunities. The $47.6 billion plan represents a 6% increase that's mainly going to go towards public schools and human services to boost pay for direct care workers. The votes in the Republican-controlled Senate and Democratic-controlled House came within hours of rank-and-file lawmakers getting their first look at hundreds of pages of budget-related legislation. Locally, Senator Elder Vogel Jr. responded that as a caucus, we have stood firm throughout the budget process that this budget would need to reflect a pro-growth, pro-jobs, and pro-family strategy while also maintaining fiscal responsibility, and the final product we achieved does just that. While State Representative Aaron Bernstein has made a statement saying that this is the worst budget I've seen since I came to Harrisburg, and it was once again easy to vote heck no. And finally, Pennsylvanians will be able to buy canned alcoholic drinks called ready-to-drink cocktails from a wider variety of retailers under newly approved legislation. The state Senate approved the bill Thursday, 32-17, and sent it to Governor Josh Shapiro's desk. Under the bill, the approximately 12,000 restaurants, bars, beer distributors, grocery stores, and convenience stores that are already licensed to sell alcohol can get a special permit to sell the canned drinks. Under current law, only the state-owned wine and liquor stores are allowed to sell the drinks.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we'll have mostly sunny skies and a high near 88. Partly cloudy tonight. We'll see a low around 66. Sunny, hot, and humid tomorrow with a high near 91 and an overnight low of 68. The heat and humidity will continue into Sunday. It'll be mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon through the evening. We'll reach a high near 92 and an overnight low of about 71. And more sunny, hot, and humid conditions in the forecast for Monday. A high near 94 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Friday, July the 12th of 2024, at 9 minutes past 10, we've got a temperature of 76 degrees with sunny skies in Beaver County. That's a look at news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Now,
It's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
Ten minutes after 10, Larry Kelly, even casual. You look good, man.
Thank you, my man.
You seriously, if you want to check it out, it's on the live Facebook feed. You agreed to hang out a little bit more, and I'm going to milk it for all it's worth. Who makes the best French fries? You got the Fry Jones going. What fast food joint makes the best French fries?
The best fries in my lifetime.
Okay.
Used to be at Cascade Park in Newcastle. They were called Ike's Fries. Hand-cut potatoes.
To order, yeah.
In a little cone with vinegar on top of them. Little salt,
you're a malt vinegar guy.
Little salt, little vinegar, Ike's Fries. The best ever. Not even close. Undeniably the best. No comparison.
Not subjective at all. That's how it is.
No, it's clear. Ike's Fries. Now, it's been 30 years since I've had one of those, maybe longer. But I still remember. When I close my eyes, I can still smell them in my childhood.
I love the fact that you're a malt vinegar guy. That's kind of cosmopolitan.
Yeah, well, we were kids. We used to go swimming at Cascade Park. I think it cost maybe a quarter to get in. I'd have 50 cents. I knew I needed to save 15 cents for the Ike's Fries on the way home.
Okay.
So I had a dime to spend at the Cascade Park concession stand, and I used to get a nice candy bar called a frozen milkshake. They used to freeze like a candy bar.
Yeah.
Frozen milkshake, or frozen Three Musketeers bar.
What were you drinking with the fries, though? Because they can get salty, malt vinegar.
No,
you want something to wash down.
Didn't have enough cash in my pocket to buy a Coke or a Pepsi after. So, and we'd walk. You'd walk to the park. You'd walk home.
Eat your fries.
Yeah, and eat your fries. It was the greatest.
How are you with, have you ever heard, and this is huge in Belgium, which is a horrible way to pitch an idea. This is huge in Belgium. Have you ever dipped your French fries in mayo?
No, come on. No, what's wrong with you? My goodness.
Well, you got that much. You can't stay that long.
I'm not sophisticated enough. I mean, maybe French fries and ketchup, yes. Vinegar on your fries, yes. Gravy on your French fries like they used to do at the hot dog shop, P.O. Lunch in Newcastle, Coney Island in Newcastle.
That's poutine.
Yes,
yeah, throw some cheese curds on there. You got Canada.
Yeah, but not
mayonnaise. You're a well-educated, well-reasoned man. Do you like mayo as a condiment in general?
Not as much as I used to. I don't use it much very often.
Next time you get your fries,
put mayo on them.
No. And see, that's where people get grossed out. You don't put mayo on it. You get a little cup of mayo. You dip them.
Kind of like ranch dressing.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had people yesterday, apparently if you have French fries and you dip them in chocolate ice cream, it's the cat's meow.
Wow. You were talking about being casual, and it always makes me remember, what my father told me. My dad, we've talked about my dad on the show, Fred Kelly, not a formally educated man, but the expanse of his wisdom was infinite. He was well-read, Eddie. So, one day before I'm a lawyer, we're walking down the street in Newcastle, and we see two lawyers walking towards us. And one is dressed, suit, tie, just dressed to the nines, and the other one is rather casual. And it was a hot summer day, and my dad says to me, if you knew nothing about these two men and you had to choose a lawyer, which one would you choose? Dad, it's obvious. I choose the guy who's dressed like he looks really successful.
Looks ready.
And my dad told me something probably 45 years ago that I still remember. He says, if you're going to be a lawyer, you got to look like one every day because you never know who's watching. So it is very, very unusual for me not to have a tie on. Now, as casual as I get as a sport coat and an open collar, because my kids tell me, Dad, that's okay today. But if I go to work 300 days a year, right?
That's your work suit.
I'm in uniform. I have a tie on 290 those days.
Do you own a tank top?
Do I own a what?
Tank top.
Well, yeah, to work out in at the gym.
Of course.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, sleeveless. I don't know if you'd call it a tank top.
Well,
but
no, that's a tank top.
Sleeveless. Want to show those guns off when I go to the gym, Eddie.
Larry Kelly, I love talking to you. What did you want to talk about today that we didn't bring up? Because we started with baseball. We ended up with French fries dipped in ice cream. That's why I love talking to you.
I think it's important that when you're choosing a lawyer that you know a little bit about who they are, what makes them tick. And that's why I like coming here. We don't have to talk about law. I think sometimes it's boring to talk about case after case, or for me to sit here and in a self-serving manner brag about all of the successes that we've had. I do this show because I want people to know a little bit about who I am, what makes me tick. You know, the advantage of LGKG, because, you know, we have lawyers in our community now from Philadelphia and from Florida and from New York. The advantage of LGKG is we're Western Pennsylvania guys. I grew up in Newcastle, and for the last 30 years have lived in Beaver County. I know what makes Western Pennsylvania tick. I get it. I know what makes the people in Western Pennsylvania tick. And I know how to present a case to Western Pennsylvania people and how to win that case in front of jurors from Beaver County or Lawrence County or Allegheny County.
Was there ever any consideration to branch out and be, because successful, easy to make the jump to be one of those lawyers that says, well, we have lawyers in these many states. Why didn't you do that?
Well, I think then you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know, the laws in each state are very, very different. And I want to make sure that when I'm representing a client that I know the laws of the state of Pennsylvania cold. You know, I may not be the greatest lawyer in the world, but I'm going to tell you something. I never got out-lawyered. And the reason that is no lawyer has ever known the law better than me. And no lawyer has ever known the facts better than me going into a case. And then it's a matter of presentation. I'm not saying I'm F. Lee Bailey or Melvin Belli, but I'll know the law as well as anybody. I'll know the facts cold, and that gives my clients a pretty good chance. And as a result of that, we've had a lot of success at LGKG.
How does that work when it is a law firm and they've got lawyers in different states? Are they just farming out that work?
No, they wholesale. It's wholesale business. Rather, they might have 1,000 cases, so they don't pay quite as much attention to your case as we do at LGKG. At Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly and George, we don't carry 1,000 cases on our books. We handpick our cases. If we take your case, that's because we believe in you and we believe in your case. We turn down as many cases as we take. Those wholesale firms, they take every case and they wholesale them. They sell them for cheaper than maybe what they should.
Cut rate deals.
Cut rate deals.
I absolutely love talking to you. So is Skanes going to be here a year from now?
Oh, he'll be here a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. But he'll be in a Yankee uniform before it's over, and that's kind of sad. But enjoy him while he's here. Again, nobody's more critical of the Pirates than me. But when you have pitching, that's where it starts and ends. And these guys are all major league hitters. They may not be great major league hitters, right? But again,
they could hit somewhere at some point.
Getting back to my friend Jack Zarenzik, who was the general manager of the Seattle Mariners, he told me one time, because I used to get real excited, a player would be hot for a month.
Yeah.
And I'd say, man, Jack, that guy is really good. And he would say, Larry, anybody can be good for a month. They're in the big leagues. The great ones are good for 6 months. So it's time for some of these hitters on the Pirates squad to get hot. They're all going to get hot sooner or later for 2 weeks or a month. And if we can get 3 or 4 of them to get hot together with this pitching staff, I think we got a chance to make the playoffs. And I don't say that lightly. I don't. All
right, wait,
I'm a believer.
What's today's date?
Today's date's the 12th.
July
Absolutely.
12th. Larry Kelly says the playoffs are a feasible option.
With this pitching staff. Now, the staff got to stay healthy. I know that Jones is out with a lat strain. I don't know how long he's going to be out. and Bailey Falter is kind of out right now. Now, if these guys are out for an extended period, we're in trouble because it's all about pitching.
But isn't that true of most teams? How many teams anymore can stay at the top with their hitting? Because of what you just said, guys, it comes and goes, success.
It comes and goes. The great ones stay hot for 6 months. Mm-hmm. There's less than probably... In all of baseball, National and American League, I know there's less than 20 players now that hit 300. I mean, it's hard to do, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are throwing 98 miles an hour. The average guy throws 95, right? It's hard to do, but everybody gets hot sooner or later. And if we can get 2 or 3 guys to stay hot and get hot, we got a chance. Rowdy Tellez he's playing like Babe Ruth right now. And a month ago, they wanted to ship him out. Yeah. Brian Reynolds started the season slow. He's raking now. Key Brian Hayes, last year, the last 2 months of the season, he hit like an all-star. I think that's still in him. You don't forget how to do it. It gets it between your ears, having coached it and played it, but you'll find it sooner or later.
What's the red flag of overthinking?
Can't think too much, man. When you go to...
Wait a minute.
Let me tell you, here's the red flag. Here's the red flag. When you go to the plate in the first inning with a swing thought, you don't get a hit. And then you go to the plate in the third inning with another swing thought that's different than the one that you went to the plate with in the first inning, the flags are starting to wave. The red flags are starting to wave.
Confidence issue, maybe?
Oh, yeah. If you believe you can, you will. Hitting a base... And again, I've played my whole life. When it's going good, man, it's really easy. When it starts going bad, does it get hard?
It's like a golf swing. It gets so difficult with all of the different thoughts.
Similar.
Your body forgets what is it I'm actually supposed to be doing.
Very similar.
When do you get to the point? Is that when you get to the point you say, to heck with it, I'm just going to give me a bat. I don't even want my bat. Give me a bat. I'm going to go up there and I'm just going to start hacking.
Swing. Rowdy Tellez said he changed his... he's changed his whole season around because he didn't listen to the Pirates hitting coach. He listened to his father, who said, "Hey, kid, I've been watching you swing since you were 10 years old." Probably told him, just get up there and swing, So
get a bat, grab the pine tar, go take your hacks.
Pine tar, yeah, how about that? I love the smell of pine tar.
I love talking to you. Larry Kelly, my guest, Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George. Now I'm thinking of the George Brett pine tar.
Oh, you remember that?
Nobody came out of a dugout ever more ticked off than George Brett when they called him out after Billy Martin sent his peeps out there to get it.
I've been watching baseball since I was 10, let's say. I've never seen that call before or after.
I think we know why the after, don't we? I give George Brett credit. He didn't go out and just start beating on people. What do you think about digital umpires?
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're going to do it the way they do it in the minor leagues, where the ump makes the call and you have a right to challenge it. You don't have unlimited challenges, but you do have a right, and it's probably good. I'm not so sure I like the instant replay, because instant replay was meant to fix obviously blown calls. Mm-hmm. They're using it to determine whether the guy was safe by an inch or out by an inch. That's not the purpose of this.
I didn't know it existed until I was watching the College World Series.
Yeah.
And somebody calls timeout, and instantly, really? Okay.
Obviously blown calls. Do you remember when I think it was umpire Joyce blew the call that cost a guy from Detroit a perfect game at first base?
Yeah, missed the call, bang, bang.
That's the purpose of the instant replay. I miss the manager going out there and arguing the call and getting thrown out of the game and kicking dirt on the umpire's shoes. I miss that. That's baseball.
Some of the greatest real audio. You ever hear Tommy Lasorda when he went out? Reggie Jackson stuck his thigh out against the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing because these guys know each other. They see each other all the time. They have personal relationships. Don't show me up. I'm not showing you up.
There's a certain art form to arguing with an umpire and even a basketball official. And if you know how to do it, you're not going to get thrown out of the game or get a tee. But sometimes it gets carried away. How about Earl Weaver?
Earl
He used
Weaver.
to turn his hat around so he
Yeah.
can get right in the guy's face. Did you ever hear Terry Collins when he went out
with
there the one
Houston,
time?
right?
It's all over social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, you got to go out there and show your guys that you're fighting for them.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
defending them.
And I miss that because that's no longer in play because
Well, that's
of instant
because
replay.
umpires have their panties in a bunch and they think they're as important as the game that they're calling.
Well, they threw Aaron Boone out because the guy behind the dugout
Was
said something
yelling.
to the umpire. Come on.
You know the term, right? Rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears, yeah. Rabbit ears.
Larry Kelly talking baseball and lawyering and whatever he wants to talk about anytime. Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WMBA can get you results. Get more information at beavercountyradio.com.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, a law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, helping you put your life back together. Attorney Joe George.
You worry about getting